Tommy coming on or no?
I don't know. I don't think so. He's been kind of not on in general lately.
I know. Yeah, work and everything else has been.
I think his frustration with work is just he just doesn't want to. He don't want to.
I don't do it. You can't make me.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
It's not a very good year of Tom if there's no Tom. Although that's never stopped us before. So,
to say, how does any of that?
The reason why he's not around.
It could be. Like
no,
Anthony
he throws
says,
off attention.
Like Anthony says, it's vaginitis.
Oh man. Yikes.
Wait, are we recording?
Yeah, that's live on stream.
Oh, hey, there you go.
So
I did attribute it to Anthony.
Yes, I will do so.
No, he's probably just all.
He's busy.
He's a busy bee.
Yeah, his job runs him ragged. So.
Don't they all though?
Yeah, they do. Yes.
Yeah.
Shut at him.
I'm just like, what? Huh?
Cushy semi-government job.
Shit.
No, that'd be DWP.
Dude.
That was my dad.
Dude, that was my mom. And, oh my god, the contract they got when my mom retired. Oh my god, we're still paying for it. I almost went to work for DWP as a meter reader
because of that.
Well, yeah, because they were making like $60,000 a year as a meter reader. And their routes were so easy they used to double up and do 8 hours of overtime a day.
That's one hell of a cushy union job,
dude. Yeah. But I decided against it because if I went to DWP, I'd have to report to like a city of LA location.
Yeah.
So I'd have to go. I think one of them that's like there's one in the valley. I basically have to drive far because I don't live in fucking LA.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm not doing that.
No.
I'd rather stay at the job I have now and just go wherever I can find a job that's closer.
Mm-hmm.
So overall, it's worked out.
Do you want me to count us in?
Did you guys go over the
show notes? Yep.
Show notes.
I've got it right here.
I went over the show notes as much as I ever did.
So you didn't?
I saw them.
You knew the answer to that before you asked.
I know they exist. Isn't that like part of that's part
How come you don't have your giant American flag, John?
Oh, on Jim's thing, yeah. I was like, they're Canadian. Although the other guy's not Canadian apparently, and I was like, oh, whatever.
How was Jim's things?
He's Canadian by proxy.
It was good. It was a good show.
It was fine.
I'm all talked out. I'm not all talked out, but I'm tired of being on camera, and I was like, I want to paint, so I'm going to set this up so I can paint while we do this, and people can see it.
Yeah, that's fine.
I haven't done it forever, so.
Yeah, people seem to like that sometimes. So you should be fine.
Got to give the people what they want, Adam.
Fine. Just giving the people what they want.
Apparently, got to give them what they want.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead.
Memes today.
I know, right?
Memes and a battle report all in one day.
It's been a very busy day.
Bitches love battle reports. You can send your emails to contact@TFG Radio. All right, I'll count us.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're on.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of TFG Radio. Tonight, we have Danny.
Hey.
And as always, we have John on the Wheels of Steel.
Mm-hmm.
Showing off his painting skills. What do you have on your desktop, John?
What do you mean?
Your desk. Sorry, not your. I don't want to know what's on your desktop.
What am I painting?
There's nothing he'll admit to.
I'm painting Space Marines. That'll be Blood Claws, and I've got some Blade Guard over here.
Mm-hmm.
I got this guy with his fancy shield for Wolf Guard for the Blood Claws. Got fancy lava shield. I learned how to do this for my Terminators, for my Salamanders in 5th edition.
Oh, I remember that army,
Space Marine Terminators used to have.
It was a good-looking army.
Yeah, it was. So I was like, hey, I have some of these. These are Skaven, right? Aren't these legitimate?
Those are Lizardman shields.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a bunch of these I bought when you could buy bits.
Oh yeah.
Still, I bought a bunch of them to do Terminators with, and I had a bunch left over. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put them on this army because screw it.
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah, that's those are Saurus shields. Saurus warriors.
Yeah.
You mean Seraphon warriors?
He says yes.
They're
As if
still
he knows
called
what
Saurus.
Danny is talking about. Yes, in fact, that's what they are.
They're still
whatever you say.
they're still called Saurus warriors.
Gonna trigger people by painting straight out of the pot.
Oof.
Well, I thin my
That's what I
pots,
do, too.
which is what people don't realize.
Or at least that's what you're saying.
No, I do. I have the right here. I use this stuff. I use the airbrush stuff, and I put 3 drops in it, and I swirl it up and mix it, and it's good for like a couple of months actually.
I just glop it on.
If you're if you're painting a lot, no, it's not good for a couple months. You gotta put some more in and shake them up because you're leaving it open all the time. But for the most part, yeah, it's good to go. And these are all models that I'm got from Tom. There were Space Wolf models that I'm retrofitting to match my scheme. And I think it actually is working out pretty good because they were a very dark blue, and the black I just put over the dark blue and left a lot of the dark blue as the highlight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's all coming up Millhouse.
As everyone knows, today is April 1st, which is April Fool's Day, which is...
I don't partake.
Yeah.
I do not. I fucking hate April Fool's Day.
All my students are like, you prank us all the time. You don't do April Fool's? I was like, no, because that's the day you expect it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why would
That
I
reminds
not
me of-
today?
That reminds me of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, where like all the monsters and demons and shit take Halloween off because they're like, it's just a gauche holiday.
Right.
Yeah.
Although Natalie got our kids really good. Did I tell you what she did?
I saw that, yeah.
With Alexa. So our kids are always asking Alexa what time it is, right? So she changed it so that if you ask it, it'll say it's time to get a watch. So let's see if I can do it. Alexa, what is the time?
I think it's time you got to watch.
Did you hear that? I think it's time you got to watch. Yeah. And she did it this morning to the kids, and they were like, oh, what? Because we're always telling them, Alexa should tell you it's time to get a watch. Because they're always asking incessantly. And this morning it did. It was great. It was pretty good April Fool's.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of April Fools in general.
Me neither. Like I got super excited about that that post for what was it, Eisenhorn?
Which one? There's Eisenhorn. There was one for Battlefield Gothic.
I didn't see that one. I saw Eisenhorn though, and I was like, it's happening. And then Reese was like, I think it's fake, and I was like, sons of bitches.
Yeah.
You bastards.
Yeah. It just, I don't know. It just gives people who who normally aren't like that, aren't jokesters and whatever, and it gives them an excuse to do it, and then they do it badly. Or
the problem is it gives people who are not funny the impetus to try to be funny, and it's just like let's stay to our lanes, kids.
I should explain to my students that way next time.
Yeah.
Or they sometimes write frontline articles. I don't know.
Damn.
I'm just saying.
I mean, that's not wrong.
Shots fired.
Where's the lie? Where's the lie?
Somebody sent me the satire article from them this morning, and it's like, you wrote this? And I was like, no. And they were like, come on, you wrote this. And I was like, no, I didn't write this. I was like, I wrote another
Trust
article
me,
for
John
this morning.
always takes credit.
I always take credit. I was like, you think I wrote 2 articles for one day? Come on.
I know, right?
I'm not that motivated.
Yeah, John's not shy about taking credit.
Nope. Everything that's good that happens is me.
Yeah.
Everything not good, Adam.
That's fine. That's why I keep the money.
That's what the money's for.
It's not your various addictions that you keep the money for.
No.
Not at all.
Anyway, 40K, huh?
Is that what this
We have a
podcast is
podcast.
about? I thought this
I think
podcast
so.
was the triple Dimacherons Tyranid podcast.
That was
Give the people what they want, John.
I was talking 40K because there was a bunch of 40K related
April Fool's.
April Fools. Well, I mean, there was one, a historical one did how they're doing models for Napoleon's camp followers. Because there was
the women?
Yeah, basically, yes.
They're doing models for the whores?
They have
An
the clothes
integral
on.
part of...
Hey, man, I'm all for it. That's
Historical.
equal opportunity.
Well, there is
an integral part of history. How dare you?
There is an Osprey book was just released that is titled Napoleon's Camp Followers. Napoleonic's Camp Followers, basically.
Jesus. Okay, so never mind. I take everything back. All of it. Take it all back. Every last thing.
So, as an April Fool's joke, they said that they were doing this plastic set of those. But I'm pretty sure people would buy it, so I don't know. They'll probably end up doing it. Yeah, GW put that fake movie trailer out.
Mm-hmm.
The Primaris Lieutenant one, that was pretty great.
Yeah.
I mean, at least that was funny.
That was very fun. That was hilarious.
We saw the Eisenhorn one.
That's not funny. That's
I knew it was fake when they had
That's
what
just
is his
mean.
name, Lake Smith, or Lakeith, whatever his name, the guy from Sorry to Bother You. Like, I was like, there's no way he does a 40K fucking movie.
Don't actors just do whatever they're paid for, or is that not how that
Not him.
Oh, okay. So he's one of those special guys with integrity or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not him.
Well, now I hate him.
I mean, there are a bunch from different companies.
I actually don't have any idea who you're talking about.
The Warlord Games did one about basically painting your army in a can, but I think GW did that like 5 years ago.
What the hell's
Yeah, I was gonna
Warlord
say
Games?
that's him.
Don't act like you don't know, John.
I don't know what Warlord Game is.
Trying to think of what else there was, but I think those were the major ones that I saw.
We need Tom. Tom would have responded to me what Warlord Game is, and we could have gone on like a 35-minute tangent.
For those listening that do not know what Warlord Games is, it is a historical, mainly a historical manufacturer.
Hold on. You
Miniature
answer
manufacturer.
random people who aren't actually here and asking you, but won't answer me who is asking you?
Yes, because I know that triggers you.
That's fair.
They also make a game called Gates of Antares, which no one in America plays.
That's not a thing.
Well, I think they admit they did it just because they just wanted to do it, not like they expected to make money off of it. They have a very GW model.
Isn't that what everybody who fails at something says? It's just a joke.
They're a very GW company model in regards to how they market their games, mainly because they're all GW former GW
terrible
employees.
decision. You know what? It's my passion.
Yeah. Well, all I know is that the Epic ACW thing is not a terrible decision, so they're probably going to make more of those. Because Rick Priestley is one of the ones that created that company, and if you ever played War Master back in the day, a lot of the rule sets use that mechanic. So it's an easy crossover if you ever think about playing historicals. Anyway,
which nobody
on to our next
podcast thinks about ever.
You'd be surprised, John. You'd be surprised. They also do historical reenactments. So this month, Danny was kind enough to provide our prize, which is Danny. If you're watching on Twitch or YouTube later on, is the what is it, Danny? Underworld's.
It's the Underworld. It's the Underworld's Dire Chasm, the Star Blood Stalkers. So it's the Seraphon Warband for Underworlds.
There we go.
And yeah, I bought one. I haven't finished building them, but yeah, I bought one just to buy one.
Just to buy one.
I'm an easy mark if it is Tyranids or
lizards.
Tyranids or lizards, I'm going to buy it, and I'm already giving
go.
up working on these stupid Necrons.
There you go.
What Necrons are you doing? I didn't know you were doing.
I was doing the little destroyer guys just because I still have some from I bought when Indominus came out.
Yeah.
Like some extras, and just like I don't know what it is, but I cannot build worth shit tonight. Like everything's falling apart. I'm getting nothing to match up.
That's fair.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and forget about it.
So
I think I'll paint.
So we're gonna have two drawings. Second place will get a book.
We're doing it now
because yes,
we always do it at the beginning.
We do it at the beginning.
I mean, 20 minutes in, or however long we've been chatting.
We're only like 15 minutes in.
Huh? I don't remember doing it at the beginning.
Okay, well, next time don't be drunk.
I'm not actually.
So,
I'm just being obstinate.
Well, not right now.
Yeah.
So first is the first name that I draw will be a book of your choice in regards to what I have on file, and I actually have a lot of books still. It can be I have Age of Sigmar books, 40K books. I even have Blood Bowl books. So
Any
So
book from the
first
library, as
name-
long as it's one I'm willing to get rid of.
First name is... Who is this? Josh. I don't know if the camera can see. But Josh, no last name. I'll email you and get you a book. Get you a book.
Is it Josh Death? We were talking about him on Jim's podcast earlier.
No, it was not.
Who's that?
Yeah, he doesn't play
Exactly.
anymore.
Well, it's been like 2 years.
I know this is about time for the what is it? The rehabilitation tour, isn't it?
Maybe, who
That's what we
knows?
were talking about too. We were talking about, like, is it possible to come back? And I was like, not
For him, no.
not in current climate. Like, there's no such thing as a redemption arc anymore in real life, only in like fiction.
Well, yeah, because people still bring up Blades, Feast of Blades, and that people by I mean me.
Right. There's no redemption arc in modern America.
Which actually involved Josh Death there too. So,
I know.
So-
I remember.
if you guys want to know what it is, find me at a tournament and just ask me. I'll tell you.
Deep cut.
Yeah. Second, in the grand prize, winning the fabulous, what is it, Danny?
The Starblood
Iron
Stalkers.
Chasm, Seraphon, whatever. You get Lizardman models, basically.
Yep.
I
Let's
like
put
it.
it that way.
We got to play sometime, Danny.
Yeah, we should.
I
like
I have
Underworld.
the
It's
special
fun.
Blood Reavers corn box.
If only there was a program that could allow you guys to play a game over the internet that greatly
doesn't count.
simulated.
I'm pretty sure I already made memes about TTS,
I didn't say TTS.
and they were not well received by some people. And I don't.
Which means they were good.
Was one of them Keith Barry?
No, he thought it was hilarious. I told him he was my muse, and he laughed.
It's because Keith has a sense of fucking humor.
He's
really
everybody's muse.
Unlike some people who have to rage quit things because people can't handle it.
Yep.
Wow. No name. This one is to
I
Robert
thought it was no
M.
necks.
I didn't even hear him.
Who?
John.
Barry?
I didn't even hear the name.
It's Robert M.
Robert M.
Well, we know which Robert it is, but
Yay, Robert.
who doesn't play, only plays 40K as far as I know.
Yeah, well, you can have it.
Now he can add Lizardmen to his army, to his Imperial Guard army.
He can do a conversion. It'd be great.
Yeah, exactly.
He's actually a big conversion guy, isn't he?
He is.
He is a big
He'll find a way to use them.
do it yourself
do-it-yourself
kind of
guy,
guy.
yeah.
Yes,
He can do it.
where he spends more time building the model than if he had bought it. But that's
It's fine.
you know.
Hey, man, it's his passion.
I'm sure they can make some auxiliaries or weird psychers or something. Astropath, whatever.
Lizardmen,
Sure.
Ogrins.
So I'll email Josh. I'll message Robert.
Yeah, just give me your address and I'll pop it in the mail.
Yeah. And we'll get those sorted out, and then we'll figure out next episode. We'll let you guys know what we'll be giving away for next month.
We're going to give away Tom.
No, because he belongs to Danny right now, so we can't do that.
Yep.
I've sold him to Danny for services.
Anybody
rendered.
listening who knows me in real life outside of this, we are kidding. Please don't try to cancel me. Thank you.
Oh God. Just stop.
Wow.
Yeah, just stop.
Who, me?
Yes.
Can't stop, won't stop.
I know.
All right.
And you walked
Moving on.
right into that one, Danny. Fuck.
Yeah, that's fair.
So this is why I usually just ignore him most of the show.
That's a lie.
I did say most. So good news for us, at least living in Southern California. Los Angeles County is in what is the orange tier, as Danny makes a bunch of noise. What that means is we get looser restrictions. In California, there's colored tiers because people like colors. There's purple and goes from worst to best, which is
That means we get to
purple,
play tournaments again. Screw you guys.
purple, red, orange. I think the lowest is yellow.
Yeah.
Because there is no other colors apparently.
And if you're complaining because your county didn't get it, well, maybe you should have behaved yourselves.
And it's by county, so it's not statewide. So for us in LA County, and most of California actually, because Danny makes more noise.
It's going to be a good one for you to edit.
I usually don't edit; I just leave it in. But I may just have to,
Wait, what? What? God, what did I miss now?
all the noise you were making.
Huh?
You made a ton of noise.
Oh, sorry.
You didn't mute yourself?
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. There's good talking points.
We'll have to leave it in because I mentioned it now.
Yes.
Yeah, see? Oh, there you go. My bad.
So we're just talking about how we're in orange tier now.
Yeah, we get to do things because we behaved.
We get to do things. That's more or less what it is. So
Like certain family members of mine.
Oh, God.
Wow.
So, never mind. I'm not going to make the joke. I thought real hard about it.
I appreciate it.
Because of that, we're actually allowed to basically play games in the store now.
That's right.
So, which we have been doing since we moved to Orange. And it also allows us to do our league, our local league, which, if for those that remember, way in the midst of time,
Yes.
we Jeff from Focus Fire runs the league. It's based off of a league.
Man, what happened
that I
to
first
Focus
heard
Fire?
of.
Have they put out an episode lately?
Jesus. They have said they have it. They did an episode. I haven't gotten it yet from Alan.
It's so long you can't remember his real name?
No. Also because I mostly ignore him. So basically it allows us to have our league. For those that may not remember or have never heard about the league we do, it's a pod system. I first heard about it, and we first heard about it in San Diego area, run by Keith Berry.
And Coop, right?
And Coop. It's mainly Keith, I think. But either way. So basically what it is, you take X amount of players, you put them into pods depending on skill level. So you have like the lowest pod, it's usually new people or people that play more or less for fun. Middle of the road pod, and let's say top tier pod. As the season goes on, you play your games, and depending on your placing, it affects where you go in the pod. So if you're in pod 1, which is the top pod, if you're in the bottom, depending how big the pods are, let's just say bottom 2, and if you're going to play in the next season, you're going to drop one pod to pod 2.
Right.
If you're the top of pod 2 and you come in, let's say top 2, you move up to pod 1.
Right.
So every season it adjusts players depending how they do. So it eventually, after the like 2 or 3, you kind of know where everybody's at, and you kind of play against people that are your own skill level in theory, and usually that's how it works.
As you get better, you should theoretically move up.
Yes, unless you decide just to fuck around and find out, and you drop to the very bottom. You go from the top to the very bottom over the course of a year.
I don't understand who you're referencing.
I wonder who that could be.
So
I don't think leagues are a thing, except for now. I think leagues are a thing.
Okay. So we're restarting our pods. We actually just got our pods and our matches today. Yep. And some of the placements are odd, to say the least. But it's.
I feel like the person who made the pods might have forgotten who certain people were.
Probably, and that's fine. It's the first pod in basic in literally a year.
Like why Tom's not all the way in the bottom learner pod, I have no idea. Why I'm not in the bottom learner pod, I don't know. Has he watched any of these battle reports where I lose every time?
Clearly not.
Clearly not.
Well, I'm in not a pod, so
right. Well, you're not playing. I guess you'll be a ring. You can be a ringer.
Yeah, I'll see if Jeff wants me to do that, but I just
crushing all the noobs at the bottom.
No, I'd play something.
And typically, if there's a
Dimacherons list,
no, I'd play like weird monster mashup. Like, hey, no one ever runs these models for a reason, but why not? I own them.
So I'm going to come lose games. Have fun, guys.
Yep.
Sounds good.
And if I win, well, that's really not my fault.
Seal of approval.
Yeah. So, and then what happens when new people come in? If we don't know them or we've never seen them around, we'll typically put them in the bottom pod to start out.
Or they have no real ITC standing.
Yeah. Now, if we know who they are or they have an ITC standing, we'll slide them in accordingly. Usually, because people drop in and out all the time during the season, so it's not that big of an issue. Right. This first, the highest we got was 38 people. It's in the 30s. I remember that.
Yeah.
And this start of the new season, I think we have 27, which is actually
pretty
bad
good. For right out of the pandemic.
But, yeah.
San Diego gets huge numbers for theirs.
Well, yeah.
They do. They've been doing it a lot longer, too.
Yes. Yeah, that wasn't a knock against ours. I was just saying that you can do it with bigger numbers.
Oh, yeah. No, you absolutely can.
Thank you, KR Quinn, for subscribing, by the way.
Yay, KR.
We have friends.
We do? This is news to me.
Well, I don't know. Don't people who pay you money are your friends?
Yeah. In certain professions, yes.
Yeah. No, that's what you tell them to make them pay you more money.
Yeah,
Adam,
pay more.
If you
Maybe
sub,
I love you.
Adam will give you the full girlfriend experience.
I could add to that, but I won't.
So,
I am legally not allowed to add to that.
this is the only Catholic 40K podcast. You are not allowed to add to that at all.
That seems very on brand, though.
In some ways, yeah.
Oh, this is what we need, Tom.
Yeah.
Oh, he'd be frothing at the mouth.
You guys.
Absolutely frothing at the mouth right now.
So like I said, there's some questions about who was placed where, but with the first league of the year and not having played in a while, it's
not a big deal.
No,
it's not a big deal. I wish I could have played, but there's just no way I can. Yeah. I don't want to be that. I just hate being that guy who's like, oh, hey, I said I was going to do this, and then 3 weeks later, oh, it turns out I'm not going to be able to do it. Right. There's no way I'm going to get all 5 of my games in. Blah blah blah. That just sucks. And
for our league, it's 5 games in a pool of 7, so there's only 2 people you're not going to play.
Only 2 people you can duck.
Yeah, and Axis of Entropy, you missed the drawing. My rant against April Fool's Day.
Yeah,
that's about it.
It wasn't much of a rant, really. It was more of an explanation.
Yeah.
And if you're not funny and you are not honestly known by strangers as well as your friends that you are funny, please don't try to be funny on fucking April Fools.
Especially if you're a public figure, because that always backfires on you.
Oh God, yeah.
I was joking.
That happens. It's almost like Black Friday, where you expect the crush of people.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And so I expect usually somebody to misstep like that, usually on April.
Yeah, just some cringe. Even that's it's just a lot of it's cringeworthy. I'm like, that's not funny. I don't know why you think that's funny.
Yes.
There is no alternate universe in which this is funny. That is the one exception to the string theory.
Yeah, but for our league, I think John, you're sticking with Space Wolves for the league.
Imperium, for sure.
Okay.
For options.
Yeah, I'll probably, because I'm allowed to switch between, but I probably will do Space Wolves, especially because I have I got that Thunderwolf I got to build. I've got a bunch of dreads, so I have a lot of different builds for Space Wolves, other than what people have seen on the podcast on the battle reports.
Okay.
The battle reports are just what I have fully painted at the moment. I have lots of other options sitting around.
I will say the one thing I really like about the league is that we're not every game's out of 90 because we're just not doing the fully painted scores because the whole point is to test stuff out and things like that. So you shouldn't lose games because you're testing something.
But if you are,
and we still have the hobby prizes, so there's plenty of impetus to play fully painted, right? So I think that was a nice, easy way to kind of make everybody happy.
Yeah, that was. I was actually very happy with that because I was actually tempted for a minute to be like, oh man, I should just play every game fully painted and then enter something. And I'm like, you know what? There are way too many good painters in our league.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah, you're going against Paul. That's a pretty tough
and also the Mackenzie guy, right?
Yeah, Jason McKenzie.
Jason's stuff's really good too.
Yeah. So I was like,
there's just too many. I mean, even like Dom or Matt Wilson too. He can paint like a motherfucker. So
I mean, I won a painting prize one of the leagues with the Salamander captain.
Right.
When I redid part of the Salamander army,
I was about to say when you redid when you ran the league a long time ago.
No. This was when Travis was running it at the new store, and I was like, I want to paint some salamanders, and I was like, I'm going to redo the army, and I never fully redid it, but I did a couple of key models, and that was one of the key models I redid.
Seems fair.
So John is taking quote unquote Imperium.
Most likely, it'll be Wolves most of the time. I really want to try to make that work. So
I'm taking Chaos, but I'm probably sticking with Chaos Space Marines.
right.
I don't have enough demons to do a proper demon army, and renegades and heretics aren't a thing anymore.
They stopped existing, kind of like my Imperium army. I was like, I don't have like a Imperium army really functional at all, except for them. Except it doesn't exist, so I have to like try to do Militarum Tempestus, which I'm like,
No.
yeah, it just. I mean, the problem is every time I build a list, I'm like, cool, this is a lot of flyers, except I can't score objectives.
Right.
This sucks. Even if I hover, they really need the rule of like, hey, if you drop down into hover mode, you get to, despite being aircraft, you get to hold and contest objectives because you're in hover mode.
Right, but they're never going to do that.
That could be an army or a noun thing.
For real.
I hate you like so much.
I'm just saying. So I'm playing Chaos. I'm actually building Chaos Terminators right now.
Yay.
As we speak. I think I know I'm in pod 2, as is John, and we actually play each other.
Well, that'll be a fun battle report.
Well, I already won because we already did our battle report a month ago, so we're done. I turned in the scores.
Nope.
Jeff said it's fine.
No, he didn't.
Nope.
So we're done.
I will watch formal complaints.
On to my next one.
And or set off pipe bombs. One of the two.
Let me give it again. Nope.
That's how we do things in this country now, right? Insurrections.
Yeah. Oh, now. Yeah.
Form an insurrection against the game store.
Excuse me.
Again, you can send your emails to Adam.
You can. Doesn't mean I read them.
That's why we're sending them to you.
Mm-hmm. Now I was just say, do we ever care?
No, we don't. We don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Which is why we're not on the Frontline Gaming Network.
Nope.
We're not on the Frontline Gaming Network because of our political views.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
In the fact that we have them and we express them.
Or rather the fact that we just make fun of people. We're kind of, all over the place.
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons why we can't be on that network. I mean, we can sugarcoat it and try to say it's one thing.
Well, also because we're not willing to toe the company line. That's also an issue.
I don't play well with others.
Yeah, that I can attest to.
And that's why you're a judge, because you don't have to play. You just tell people that they're wrong.
That's right.
And I'm just saying, you know your role in life, and it gets better.
We were discussing how I didn't care when I went up to that one table with Nanavati and I bumped a model. And the whole crowd was like, "Ah!" And I was like, I don't care. I'm the judge. That model's wherever the hell I said it was. It doesn't matter if I jostled it. As soon as I place it back down, that was that model's position. End of story.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I know I have a game with Ish, who's in the chat.
Me too.
Oh, hey, Ish.
And then I play against you, Ish. I already forgot who else. Andrew, who plays Tyranids.
Yeah.
I'll probably lose. I think he plays more monster. He plays a lot more monsters than anything else.
Because I have PTSD.
As far as I know, do you play him too, John?
I play Andrew also, yeah.
Oh, as far as I know, he does not. He does play big monsters.
If they're not Dimacherons,
big
then
monster.
It depends. I mean, you can
big monster.
Big monster. That's still the one.
That movie is I think one of the best ones.
Yeah, it's in the top 3 for sure. I think it might be the most rewatchable one. Like you can just sit down whenever you want and watch it and have a good time. Yeah. I don't know if it's the best one, but it's definitely the most rewatchable.
It is up there for rewatch quality, yeah.
And maybe that's the highest metric of can you sit down and just keep watching it, right? Maybe that is actually the highest metric of what is the best.
True.
Who am I to say?
Who am I to judge? Like Jesus in the Bible. Who am I to judge?
Who am I to judge?
Except for the money changers in the temple. Then you're going to spend 3 hours braiding a fucking whip to beat their ass. The whole time telling them, when I'm done braiding this whip, I'm about to fuck you up. And they just sit there.
Yeah, but there. That's totally understandable.
That's just the funniest part, the visualize of just him sitting there braiding a whip, right? Literally making the weapon, and they're just in here he's not gonna fucking do it. What is he gonna fucking do? It's just I told you, motherfuckers. I could just see him quietly told you, motherfuckers, it's gonna happen. This is the chance. This is the mercy. It's about to be justice up in here.
He's the antiquity version of the guy loading the shotgun. Shame.
Yeah. Another 2 hours once I get this cross stitching right. Y'all are going to learn.
So I play John Ish, Andrew. Oh, I play Paul Barker. He plays in Memphis.
Yeah, I don't think I play Paul.
And then I play Oscar, when I played him the last time, he played Orcs.
Yes, but he's also
Oscar Casaloa?
Yeah.
No, he's a good guy.
Orcs and lots of orcs. Oh my god, so many orcs.
He's fun to play against.
Oh, he's the one I lost to when we played the night challenge, and I was 2-0.
Oh right, yeah.
And I actually almost won that game because he was rolling bad for his shock attack guns.
The night challenge never happened.
No, you mean the one that I won? That's why I'm the best.
Yep. That's why it didn't happen.
2 years now, for 2 years.
I didn't even get to play it.
That's a you problem.
I know.
That is also true.
John, you are playing Paul. You're playing Andrew, Paul, me, Danny Janeski.
Oh, Danny J. He's a great guy.
Who's playing?
That's a good game.
Cool, okay.
Yeah, you play Paul. Danny Janeski plays. I know he plays Golden Boys. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of Custodes players in our area.
We are very Custodes heavy. You're right.
Yeah, and then you play Ish. I think Ish is playing Custodes
right?
also. He painted them, so I'm assuming he is.
It's Custodes or Blood Ravens with Ish, right?
Generally,
no,
I think.
He had Ultramarines.
Right, but they're painted Blood Ravens, aren't they?
No, they're painted on Ultramarines.
Are they? I thought...
Well, the ones that actually are painted.
Okay, got it.
We almost have the same like schedule. I mean, we almost play the same people.
We don't play Oscar.
Right, I don't play Danny. That's the only difference. Other than that, we play the same people.
Cool, that's fine.
I think that's funny.
That'll be fun.
So we'll see how that goes. It's basically 6 weeks. You play 5 games.
God damn it!
See how everyone ends up at the end. I think it's 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw. I think
something like that. Yeah, 0 points.
But I don't think I haven't seen too many draws in 9th edition. So
they're pretty tough to get.
There was a 100 draw or something like that at GT.
No, that's shady as shit.
That's shady.
I think it was the stream game, which is why everybody was like, "Oh, okay." Like it was watched or something by like a bunch of people, and that's why it didn't get called out on the internet immediately by all the neckbeards.
I mean, it can happen. It can. I mean, that's because of the way the game is. It can absolutely happen that way.
Yeah.
You can both max your primary. You can both max your secondary. And if you're fully painted, like there you go.
Yeah, I mean that's why I think it was not a big deal, and why nobody heard about it because it was literally not a big deal.
Or maybe we will hear about it when Jeff and Alan talk about it on the show.
It's not a thing.
I think. Hopefully. I don't know. So that's the league. In addition, we're getting ready for the RTT that might most likely will happen.
Better.
Next weekend. John is taking Space Wolves, I believe.
Yep.
Danny, you're taking your Dimacherons list.
Yep.
And I am taking the list I've sort of been running the whole time. I changed it a little bit after our game, Danny.
Oh, yeah? What'd you do?
I dropped the Hell Talons, and I put in the Hell Blades. Or I dropped the Hell Blades and put in the Hell Talons. I forget what the difference is in terms of names. But basically, I got rid of the fighters and put in the bombers. And this all has to do with the mortal wound spam, basically.
Right.
Because the bombers carry 2 bombs each that you pick a point on their flight path, and every unit within 6 inches on a 4 or 5, they take D3 mortal wounds. On a 6+, they take D6 mortal wounds.
Okay.
-1 if there's a character. So
right.
It's the same as it's almost like the orbital bombardment, things like that, or where pick a point within X inches, whatever, and each one can do it twice per game.
What other guns do they have?
They have twin las cannons and an autocannon.
Mm-hmm.
That's more heat than the other ones. And they're still flyers, so they'll still get you the same thing of getting you basically engaged on all fronts on the first turn.
The only thing I had to do is I had to drop one of the squads of Raptors. So it's going to be harder to get deploy scramblers.
Well, I mean, I guess
but it's doable with the
I don't know.
With the Tide of Traders.
Yeah. I feel like if you're going to dedicate to deploy scramblers, you absolutely have to have 2 units dedicated to it of like your job is turn 2 to drop in their backfield or the midfield, give me deploy scramblers. Your job turn 3 is to deploy either either midfield or their backfield, right, to get deploy scramblers. And that's just what it is. You make sure you always have 2 units, right, that are going to do it on 2 and 3. And like not having like, well, if one of my units moves up or like I can do it this of like
no, I just do it. I just hide one of my cultist squads and just use Tide of Traders.
I guess, but I feel like that opens you up to a little more counterplay than you had otherwise. No, I mean, you can definitely do that. I just feel like, again, I always try to limit how much, this is like 9th edition in general, of how much counterplay I give my opponent. Right. And like, if they know, like, okay, you've only got 1 unit that can deep strike in that I can't stop, then they can sit there and be like, well, if I kill X, Y, and Z, you can't ever get deploy scramblers unless you sacrifice an activation out of like a unit I want you to sacrifice an activation.
Yeah, it would have to be the unit. It would have to be the unit of Terminators.
Right, and turning them off for a turn is like.
Well, that also depends where they land to begin with. Like in one of John's practice games from Tuesday, he had to put his Terminators in his backfield because he didn't have anybody to cover his backfield.
Right,
sucked.
And although he killed, did you ever kill the Eliminators? I don't think so. I don't think you did.
I don't
think we called it at that point. Yeah. So and that's all they could do. If I have only choices like that, then I got to do what I got to do. It may be worth it just to have them hide behind a building and then, on turn 3 and get me deploy scramblers.
Right.
But I mean, like I said, with Tide of Traders, because most people will focus on everything except the cultists.
Right.
I can do it turn 1 or turn 2 and just get my deploy scramblers and then the raptors come in.
Yeah.
Most armies, especially if I go first, most armies don't have something to go to the mid table, unless it's like infiltrators before the game starts. Not on turn 1 anyway, yeah.
Or something super fast.
Yeah, or what usually happens is people try to shoot at my vehicles first, and they kind of ignore the cultists. So,
which makes sense.
So I mean, but we'll see. I don't know. I'll have to play it more and then see how that goes. But that's the list right now, and the Terminators all have lightning claws and flamers and melta guns. So that helps reduce the cost and help me save points because the original one I had when I played you, Danny, had a mishmash of like, well, here's what I have that's painted.
Right.
We were doing the battle report. So, and a lot of that stuff was like 5-10 points. So I got to get rid of all that, and that saved a lot of points also.
I too blame the battle reports for my losses.
I'm the one thinking like, man, I'm gonna go. If our tournament actually happens, I'm the one where I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna go 0-3. There's been too much buildup.
So you're sticking with the Dimacherons right now?
Yeah, I mean, at least for like competitive play, I would like to play something else just because I'm just at that phase where like I just enjoy playing, so I like trying different things. But I think until I get my what is it, the 300 body problem list fully painted and like ready to go.
I like it. I like the name of it too.
That's why I was for you. I was thinking like, what do I name this list? Because like I have Trip Dima, which I like. That's just like an easy short thing, Trip Dima. But I was like, man, what am I gonna name my Gaunt Horde? I like Gaunt Wall just doesn't sound very good when you say it. And I was like, oh, the 300 body problem. There you go.
I love it.
Yeah.
Because I mean that's basically what it is. It's like, here's this problem. Can your army solve it? No. Cool. I win. Awesome. Have fun. I don't have to roll any dice except for advances.
I tried building a Canwall army for orcs, but one, they're still not any good, and two, their points are just too much right now.
Yeah, man, I want Canwall to be good.
Yeah. John, so you said but do you want to reveal what you're taking, or you're going to keep it secret because you think you're actually worth tournament? Something?
I have no idea. Yeah. Like it depends on what I can get painted and done. I have several different lists that I want to try to get painted. I've got the Dreadnought based lists. I got, if I can get the Thunderwolf Cavalry done, then I'm going to add those into the list. If I can't, then it'll be Impulsors, Blade Guard, Assault Intercessors, Ragnar, Eradicators, that kind of stuff. I can always do double drop pods of blood claws, which we've talked about the tech of. I think
I like blood claws and drop pods.
Yeah, that has some play, I think, that people won't expect. So it really depends on what I can get built, painted. And done before I go, because I'm, I have Easter break with my kids and stuff, so we have things we're doing.
No, okay.
I don't have unlimited time before the tournament.
It also depends on reps too. I mean, we've talked about that before. You just, it doesn't. I mean, you can have like the statistically, more efficient army, but if you've never played it, it's probably not going to do you as well as an army that you've actually put tabletop time on.
It's true. Which is probably wouldn't punt from Space Wolves unless I have like the ultimate Deathwing 35 model army that everybody hates.
No, you mean Danny Quantzless, which I'm going to play soon.
I thought his was Deathwing Ravenwing.
His is the better list with Deathwing Ravenwing. Yes.
Yeah.
Mine would be the dumb person's list.
According to some.
Wait, don't you mean Edwin's list?
Yes, I do. But he doesn't know ain't going to hurt him.
Very true.
Oh, God, that's why you have kids.
No, because my kid wants to play fucking like Tau or Space Marines. I'm like, God damn it, man.
That's a parenting.
What did I do? This is when I know I failed.
Parenting failed, and my kid wanted to play Dark Angels.
Yeah, but your kid also wants to play Flame of the War, which makes me think about calling Child Protective Services.
You know what? We're both history buffs, so this is what we're going to say.
All right. Well, when he starts wearing a helmet to the game store, don't.
Okay, look, if that ever happens, we're allowed to have an intervention with him.
Okay, cool.
That's just a phase. You just have to suffer through that phase, John.
I'm not okay with that phase. There's certain things where you can send your kid to rehabilitation camp for.
Oh, God.
Not in California.
I think that I could make a case for this, and they would pass in California.
Maybe. I mean, yeah, if you explained. I mean, I don't know. Probably, I think the average judge heard about 40K or any miniatures gaming, they'd be like, wow, take pity on your soul.
I think they'd be like,
you need help.
Wow, just get out of my courtroom.
Yeah, no.
Do I really have to make a ruling about this?
Yeah. Get the fuck out.
It's like when GW shoot Chapter House, I'm like, man, how much did that judge just want to be like,
what the hell is that?
Fuck this.
Yeah.
But one thing I wanted to talk about really quick is basically, like I mentioned, the difference in how you prepare for a league as opposed to a tournament.
Right.
I mean, is there any difference?
For a league, if you're certain types of people, all you do is list Taylor.
Right.
And you win, which is bullshit, and I hate, and we have to figure out a way to stop that. Although that guy's not playing, actually, so it's okay. He hasn't played in a while, actually.
I don't know who you're talking about.
I don't remember his name.
Oh.
But I will disparage his memory nonetheless. He literally would show up with his giant battle phone bag, and if it was like a pickup night or whatever, he'd take a look at your list, then he'd rifle through a binder.
Oh, God.
And pull out
that's different.
The counter list. And your game would be over in 25, 30 minutes. And you'd be like, cool, bye. And you say, good game, and you're like, yeah, bye. That was it.
I'm sure that was a lot of fun to play against.
That was the worst. Never won a tournament, shockingly.
Did he go to tournaments?
Yeah. He'd win all kinds of league games and then lose like every game of the tournaments because you couldn't list Taylor to each opponent.
Yeah, I personally don't list Taylor too much. I mean, I'll switch out a unit or two, but I won't, for the most part, it's the same army.
Right.
Sure. That's what they all say.
I use it to get reps for tournaments, or I use it just to have fun and play whatever the hell I want. So either the list is funsies and whatever, or this is why I'm taking to a tournament, so I'm not going to list Taylor, because even if you're list tailoring, I have to figure out how to beat my counter. So
a bad matchup, yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I think it's generally, if you list Taylor, you will get short-term wins, but the long-term detriment to your ability to play the game is pretty distinct. and noticeable. Because like there's lots of guys, and you can usually find them, you know, in the various groups who've been like, oh, I stomped my league or I stomped my friends with blah blah blah, and you see their lists, and it's like, wow, this is really tooled to beat X. Right. But if you took that to a tournament, you would get annihilated. Yeah. Right?
Well, you would just there's so many in your meta. How do you know? Because I saw your list.
You know, it's just one of those things of if, you know, the whole point of the league is to just play people you've never played, or you don't really get to play that often, maybe play against armies you normally don't get to play against, then I think you should just, you know, bring whatever is going to be fun for you, you know, and have fun. But if you're like, actually like, I want to play this league because I want to, you know, practice and maybe get better at this game, you shouldn't list Taylor.
Nope.
Right, like that's just gonna slow your growth.
I also
right, like
think
learning
you
to
list Taylor because it's poor sportsmanship.
I mean, I could see doing it if you really hate somebody, but you know, if you're just like, this fool has to lose. But you know,
and John should be with list tailoring all the time.
I was on the receiving end of list tailoring when I played fantasy for one league, and all y'all bitches hated the fact that I was winning that league, and somebody list tailored their list for the last game, kept me from winning the league.
Hey, if it's the last game for winning the league and you're actually going to win some support, then maybe, I don't know, then I can see it. But I don't know. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of list tailoring just because it doesn't teach you how to win at the game, right? Like what makes people who are really good at this game really good is that they can go into matchups, especially unfavorable matchups, and fight their way out. Because those happen, right? Like it's just you can't help it. There's too many armies in the game. There's too many builds. You're going to run into a matchup where you actually don't have list advantage, and you have to learn how to play around that.
Yeah.
You know, and if you don't do that, then you're just never going to do well. Yeah, exactly.
Dude wins more games he has no business winning than anybody I've ever met in my life.
Yeah. So basically, you're saying just use the league as like practice for the RTT or practice in general, or use them both if you the same way.
Yeah, I would. I mean, I think it just depends. If you want to actually like improve your skill at the game, you should treat it like an RTT of like, I'm going to take the same list more or less, maybe a few tweaks, right, here and there. But I'm going to take the same list through all 5 of my games, see how I do. Yeah. You know, and if you're just there to derp, then, you know, play whatever you want, have fun. I mean, if you're really like I'll put it this way, since I probably will ring it or something like that for the league, you know, if I have to ring for somebody and I actually can play them, I'm going to talk to them first and be like, hey, you know, especially if they're in like pod 3, I'd be like, hey, what kind of game do you want? Do you want, you know, more competitive? Do you want to just have fun? Because they're like, no, I'd rather just have fun. I want to learn how to play the game, or I just like playing the game. Then I'm just going to ask them what they play and then build a Tyranid list that will be fun for them to play against, right? Where it's not too strong, but there's some cool stuff, and I can bring out some of my models I don't ever really use that much.
Are you telling me a ringer's not supposed to try to win?
No.
The ringer shouldn't be undefeated going into round 6 and then have to drop so they can't win the event? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, the ringer's job is to make the person who doesn't get to play that round have fun for 2.5, 3 hours. Or in the case of a league, someone who can't get their game set up, make sure they have a good time.
Huh.
Yeah.
Right. And so, again, I think...
Make sure Florida hears this podcast.
Wow.
Yeah. I just think in general, like you should approach leagues in one of 2 ways. I'm sure there's always a middle road, but either I'm here to have fun and meet people maybe I don't know, right? Play against armies I don't know. And that's just, you know, bring whatever you think is going to be fun. Maybe talk to your opponent and ask them what they want to do, what kind of game they want, whether they want a more, you know, a very competitive game, or they just kind of want to, you know, is it a learning game, etc. Or you treat it like your actual practice because you want to get good at something, which is let me bring a good list that I think is good and let me actually run reps with it, you know, see how it goes and learn how to play, learn how to punch up. Everyone learns. It's easy to punch down. Punching up is what's hard, right? So, and you have to learn that if you want to be good at this game.
Right. I see a lot of people use that metaphor wrong. That was a good one. I like that. You used it correctly.
Yeah. Punching up.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people use, you're punching up, and it's like that's a good thing. Why did you use that as if it was an insult?
Right, yeah, exactly. It was like, man, way to punch up. I'm like, thank you.
Yes,
right,
exactly.
Yeah, the taxonomy of that phrase is actually not...
Oh, God.
Well, I actually do know, which is sad, but okay.
A lot of people just use it incorrectly, is all I was saying.
Yeah.
And then you went all
it's a box.
English professor nerd on us.
What? It's a boxing thing. I love it's it's
too.
English stuff and boxing. So I do things I love.
And Danny's both.
That's literally your niche.
Exactly. Human on human combat and literature. Awesome. And words. I like this.
You're the oddest juxtaposition of a person I've ever met. How kind of a book nerd likes to kill people?
No, I mean, Orwell went to fucking. Orwell literally is like, I'm going to go to Spain and fucking shoot some fascists.
But
like, that's pretty hardcore. Right? No, that was Orwell.
That was Hemingway.
No, Hemingway's biggest pain in life is that he never had the balls to be like Orwell and actually fight in a war.
I thought he went to Spain, and that's for whom the bell tolls came from.
Maybe
Hemingway went on like a lot of crazy ass adventures, but they were always like, hey, I'm kind of well off and can do these crazy ass things. It's not like, again, George Orwell, who's shot in the neck fighting with the Spanish resistance against Franco.
Huh. I think I just have those two mixed up somehow.
Yeah. Again, Orwell was like, I hate fascists so much, I'm going to go join a foreign military to go shoot at them.
That's fair.
Yeah, and then meanwhile, Hemingway was like, Hemingway's like, I'm going to strap a 50 cal to my boat and cruise around the Caribbean looking for Cuban subs.
I mean, that sounds lame.
Okay.
To be fair,
anyway,
most of the time, right?
Yes, very drunk.
Then that makes sense.
Look, we've all had that thought.
Machine guns to my boats when drunk and drive around.
I'm not going to lie. Being drunk on a boat with a machine gun sounds like a lot of fun.
Not surprising, dude.
Well, there's probably a lake we can find where we can do that.
Oh, no, I definitely know where I can do that, and hopefully I'll do that this summer.
Again, this is not surprising to any of us.
So, a listener asked us about Necrons, and Danny was putting together Necrons earlier,
and then
in the episode.
Rage quit.
Quickly quit.
And then went to my love, which is corn, and getting my.
At some point, when I'm finally set with these Space Marines, I will build the rest of the show Necrons and paint them.
I wonder who'll get done first, you or Tom with our show army.
Well, if you make it a competition, I'll win.
Okay,
it's a competition now.
Well, yeah, because then if you win, John, we can just hang it over to Tom some more.
This is a good point.
First 2 rounds on me. There's the competition. There's the bet. Everyone hand to God.
You want me to win that bet because I'm cheap? Because I just want you to buy me beer.
Well, I don't care. But again, first 2 rounds on me. To whoever wins that, whoever finishes one of these projects first.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Guess I'm not playing Space Wolves on April 10th.
Now, if we really want to make it, actually, no. To make it fair, it would be Tom has to finish the other project that he owes me first, which means getting the white scars done.
Which show one is he doing?
The white scars. Our white. Or actually,
I thought that was your personal one.
Our White Scar army, which really is my White Scar army.
I didn't help pay for that.
Yeah.
I did help pay for that.
So my White Scar army. And then he has to help me reconfigure some Tyranids so I can get the 300 body problem army ready. Because I have enough models to do it now, but they're not in matching schemes.
God damn you for naming it that. Makes me want to buy my own 300 body problem.
You could just borrow mine. God.
I know, but I want to do a purple paint scheme.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I'm not going to do it, so you guys don't have to sigh like that. We all know I'm not buying a 300 model army and doing it. That's just ever happened.
Maybe I can do it with orcs.
Lame.
You can do it with orcs easily.
I don't want
with Gretchen,
orcs. Fuck orcs.
I don't know. I like the whatever the beast thing that they revealed. Like that looks like a cool model.
I played orcs in 5th edition for a little, and that's it.
I played in 3rd.
I played in 4th, 5th, and 8th for briefly.
Huh.
And then I sold that orc army to Tom, and Tom sold that orc army to somebody to do something.
Sure.
I always like orcs are I always say orcs are my first army because my first models I ever bought was the 2nd edition box set of Space Marines versus orcs. So I had like the orcs and the Gretchen.
I still have my orc Mech Boy with the shock attack gun, the original, the old second edition.
Oh yeah, that one's fucking old. That's not even the old metal one where he's sucking the Grodd in.
No, it's the one before that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Using
I remember
contrast
that.
paints on 30K models blows.
Yeah.
Why?
The Mark III
I can see
models
that.
have so many recesses for the armor.
Yeah.
I did some of these guys with contrast, and I did some of them where I sprayed them black. The spraying them black ones were way easier. If there's too much stuff, the contrast is a pain in the butt.
Oh,
Sounds about right.
Not into this.
so one of his questions was basically, what I guess what our thoughts on our Necrons right now. They haven't been talked about lately, not since the Silvertide from earlier the edition, which is not saying much actually. But the list he has, that because he said he's playing against a 3 Dimacherons list.
Ooh.
Coincidentally. But the list. So let me give you the Dimacherons list first.
Okay.
And then you can compare.
Oh man, where's my piece of paper to write notes down?
Oh jeez. And I just had it. I lost it.
Oh, killing me.
It should just be a Facebook.
Oh, the NID list is. Maybe it isn't a Dimacheron, but it's 18 Warriors, 3 Exocrines, 2 Lictors, 2 Dimacherons, a Tyranid Prime, 10 Hormigons, and their High Fleet Jormungandr, or I don't know how to pronounce it.
Jormungandr, yeah.
1 unit of Warriors has enhanced resistance for ignore AP 1/2.
How big is that unit? Is it 9 or?
I don't know.
Okay. Because that matters whether it's 6 or 9. But
Well, it says 18 Warriors. And
so either 2 squads of 9 or, some. I mean, you could
3
do
squads
that.
of 6, maybe.
3 squads of 6, yeah.
But 1 unit has basically enhanced
God, I have a
resistance.
shitload of warriors I still have to build.
Oh, James, he just obviously he's listening. 2 units of 9.
2 units of 9, cool. Okay, so that makes one pretty tanky.
So, and this is what James is taking. He's taking. Oh God, I hate these names. I just hate naming stuff. And Anrakir, the Traveler.
Yep.
I don't know how to pronounce it. Is that how to pronounce it?
Anrakir, probably. Yes.
Anrakir, with he has to take Implacable Conqueror, Chromomancer, Psychomancer, and then 5 Immortals, 15 Warriors, 20 Warriors, Hexmark Destroyer, and then an Outrider detachment that are Novoke. The other detachment is also Novoke, so they're both the same. It says Viral Construct. I don't know what that is. Psychomancer. He's bringing Nightbringer.
Yay.
Scorpic Destroyer. Looks like 4 of them.
But is it a proxy Nightbringer or is it a real Nightbringer?
Oh, God. Scarabs. 3 Scarabs. Ophidian Destroyers. There's 4 of them.
Yeah.
And then and then that's it.
Okay.
What do you think his chances are of tanking a Dimacheron long enough with some blob of warriors?
Warriors will tank a Dimacheron all day. So a Dimacheron, at most, under optimal conditions, is going to kill 13 models.
Right.
That's literally, you hit everything, you wound everything, you kill everything, and then they fail their strength test, and you get 6 mortal wounds on them.
It's literally you get to do all the things.
Yes.
He also said there's something that makes him strength 5.
So, the strength 5 doesn't really matter. At least it could matter against the warriors, just because then you're wounding on 3s.
Well, that's what I mean. No, toughness 5. What for the toughness test?
Oh, for the no, it's a strength test. The toughness doesn't matter. It's a strength test. So if they have something that uniformly gives them, or gives one, because the Dimacheron player gets to choose the model who takes the test in the unit. So if it's like, the sergeant gets to be strength 5, that doesn't matter. But if the unit gets to be strength 5, then that helps. Because then it's only a 16% chance they actually do any mortals.
Right.
So yeah, I mean that's really the Dimacherons' biggest weak. The Dimacherons have two kind of big weaknesses: blobs of infantry that they're not going to kill quickly. They can jump over them, but in terms of being able to use their speed and push forward, like they're not just going to do that much damage. And if you're really good about how you position the unit, especially if you fall back, you can really stop them from moving very far. Because you just spread out as much as you can, and keep that they can't move, actually clear you and land their base. And then really tough units with a good invulnerable save. Because again, they have 6 attacks plus the tail. They have no way to reroll their weapon skill, which is 3+ unless you can build a custom fleet to get them to 2+, which cuts down on their speed, is usually not worth it. So again, if you're like, oh cool, I landed 4 shots, oh you have a 4-up, cool, I killed 2, great, like not awesome. And so those are the two kind of counters to the Dimacheron. So if you've got the warriors, like that's who's going to need to protect Nightbringer, so Nightbringer can linebacker in and just fucking punch each of them to death.
Yes, that's what I was wondering. If you could hold them still long enough to punch them to death, then
it's not even holding them. It's just keeping them from getting to Nightbringer as best they can. Like he's got to, if he wants to be safe, because you got to remember the Dimacherons are faster than you. They're going to get to you. Right. If you don't envelop Nightbringer basically in like a horseshoe of warriors or units where there's no way for him to land next to you and engage you. Mm-hmm. And if you're really smart, make sure to leave like 2-inch gaps or like an 1.5 inch gap in your warrior kind of horseshoe, or even the immortals. So if he does charge them, you can heroically intervene into him.
Okay.
Right, where he can't physically fit his base to land around you to tag you, but you can still heroically intervene into him. Right. Because you have a much smaller base than he does.
Makes sense.
He's also saying that he can reanimate. Well, he says reanimate between each fight sequence, but isn't it at the end of the phase or after the end of the attack? Oh, it's at the end. I thought it was at the end of the.
Is it?
I think so.
I don't know. I will admit, like Necrons have fallen off my radar just because, like, I was like, man, I'm going to build a fucking Necron army, and then my son discovered my Indominus box set, and now it's it's the communist meme of our army, right? Like so the Necrons and the Space Marines are kind of his in perpetuity of just bashing them against each other, and they're so like fucked up at this point. I'm like, well, whatever. He's 4.
Yeah. It works.
Like that's fine. He keeps him. He's gentle with my other models that I care about. Although sadly, his Space Marine army is expanding, which is what pisses me off.
Don't you mean his Tau army?
Oh God, I should never like actually be a good father and show him stuff when he's like, "What other stuff is there?" I should just be like, "Nothing.
There's nothing. This else. Is it. These are the things.
This is all they make."
You may have these things and no other things.
Yep. Yeah, I have like a Storm Talon now because he's like, "Oh, cool, a plane." I'm like, "Okay, I don't know." You're either going to play this army when in like 6 years, or we'll just sell it at some point.
Just keep it for the Space Marine army, for your White Scars.
No, that's just a show army.
Let me see. I'm trying to find.
How dare you not care about the Mongolians?
I'd love them. Again, the White Scars are my favorite Space Marines. The only reason I'll play them, but I'm not like going to invest a lot in them. I'm not going to get anything more for them.
Yeah, no,
right.
I know, I get it.
That's a lie. Maybe what is it? The Con on bike, because I don't think we have a proper Con on bike.
No,
I don't think so.
So that'd be cool because I like this. I like the snatch cap.
Can Con even go on a bike anymore? I don't think so.
A Con on a bike.
A Con on the bike, not Casaro Con.
Yeah, his ass is on foot.
Yeah. Right. He lost his license for some reason. So reanimation protocols is after an enemy unit attacks.
Oh, okay.
Cool. That works. I'm a fan of that. That sounds like a good strategy.
Oh, what happened to Adam died?
Oh. That's good times.
Okay.
Well, now that he's not here, we could do the hell we want.
We're not recording anymore.
Well, we're still streaming, though. And that's being recorded.
All right,
But yeah, when he jumps back in, he'll start the recording for the podcast probably. So right now we're
anyway, what pisses me off about Adam is
this is the real shit.
Hey, Adam.
Hey.
Don't forget to hit record again.
I already did.
You did. I see it. I see it ticking. Man, I was about to go get a cigarette. Be like, all right.
I'm streaming using my laptop today, so I only have one screen instead of 4, so I only know what's going on.
How do you live?
Well, I'm painting, so I'm distracted.
Okay, that helps.
I didn't tell you guys this, but last episode I forgot to hit record until about an hour in.
So you just lifted it off the...
Yes.
Yeah. That works. Whatever, guy.
We didn't notice, so...
Well, I don't listen to the show, so...
I know. I do.
Notice.
Well, no, I listen when I'm not on, which lately has not been...
I have a hobby question.
Yeah.
So this stuff, right? The Vallejo mud.
Oh, yeah.
Bases. These are plain bases because I had to get new bases for these because they're 25s. Do you think I need to paint it for this stuff to stick?
Yeah, because it's flat, right? Like there's no texture on it.
No, this is textured.
If it's textured, it should be okay.
Yeah, this stuff is just mud, basically.
It should be fine then. The easiest answer is just do a test model real quick and then see what it looks like tomorrow.
No, I wanted to do all 9 bases.
Then just do them now. Fuck it. It'll be fine. You can fix it if not. We'll fix it in post. It's fine.
I think Adam's gone again.
Yeah, he froze in a very wonderful reason.
I'm a fan of
and there he is.
Pose. What's you guys
Hey, man.
stop watching certain things with your computer so it works.
Why do I keep seeing yes senpai and reflected in his glasses over and over again?
Right.
I'm doing
You're playing certain Steam games you shouldn't be playing, I think is the problem.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, we're trying to actually engage with the listener. It's like, I got a list.
Right, and your ass keeps bouncing out.
Well, we more or less got through the whole thing, so we got a clarification on reanimation. So basically, after the first time a Karen attacks, he gets to get everybody back, possibly. Right. So
yeah, that's pretty good.
So that's why he has the 15-man squad of warriors. I think that's their job. Like you said, you can only kill 12, 13?
13 at most. Yeah. Unless he fights twice, but then that's burning 3 CP.
Yeah, and he only has 2 of them. So
yeah, with 2, 2 is definitely... the 3 Exocrines are also a problem because that's just a lot of firepower. Mm-hmm. That's hard to snipe at range because they're T8 with 12 wounds. And at Jormungandr, they're 2+. They're always in cover, so they've got a 2+ armor save. Okay. Although if I was running that list, I would try and cut the Exocrines down and probably cut the warriors into Gaunt squads, or at least one of the warrior squads to be able to get 2 barbed hero duels, because barbed hero duels as Jormungandr with a 1+ save are fucking annoying. Because they're T8, 18 wounds with 1+ save. Yeah, yes. That's the one I use in my list as the fire base.
I was going to say he might not have them, but if he's got Dimacherons, then...
If you got 2 Dimacherons, I would
might have the barb.
Assume you have a barbed hero duel. But yeah, barbed hero duels at Jormungandr are fucking annoying because again, they have a 1+ save all the time.
Right.
But you just run Kraken and Psychic one, right?
Yeah, I run Kraken and Kronos. Just because I want more of the offense out of them than like the durability. Because my list is much more of an Alpha Strike list. His has a little more like staying power. Mm-hmm. Just because like warriors are pretty resilient, especially with the squad of 9 with like the ignore AP 1 and 2. They can do the strat for -1 damage, so they become pretty resilient. Although the problem with them is if you can pump out a lot of strength 5 shooting on them, like again just a lot of strength 5 shooting, it's like cool, we're -1 damage, but we're still only a 4+ save. So yes, there's 27 wounds in this list. Yeah, they do. Necrons, I think, can be a good matchup. Really, it's keeping the balance is going to be making sure that the Exocrines are not doing enough damage before so the Dimacherons can't clean up something on the charge, right? Okay. But the Nightbringer will eat everything in his army. The Nightbringer will easily eat a Dimacheron.
Well, that's why everybody has Nightbringer proxies.
Yeah, the Nightbringer is great. Just ignoring the invul save, hitting as hard as he does is great. The Nightbringer will freaking eat them warriors too. So it's really leveraging the Nightbringer into the middle, making him tank. Because especially depending on the terrain of the board, you can ignore the Exocrines if you can get what matters into the center, controlling the center objectives, right? And just maxing prime, getting your primary up, and then using whatever fast elements you have to kind of turn off their their primary, because if he's got 3 Exocrines, he's going to camp his backfield okay, but they're not OPSEC, they're one model. So if you can get 3 little guys there, right, like you turn off the objective they're standing on, and Exocrines can't fight worth shit. So like if you just tag them, sure they can shoot you in combat, but like cool, you're kind of limiting the damage they can do.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this is why again I think Barb Heroes are worth the extra like 100 points. It's just because like they're tougher, and if you get them in combat, they'll fucking eat you, right? Like they do a lot of damage in close combat.
So he needs to figure out a way to rocket the Nightbringer in as fast as possible
to keep him.
Get the Dimacherons dead, and then just use it to mulch everything else.
Yeah, and then just hold the center and just kind of endure. Yeah. And then if you can get the Nightbringer obviously into the Exocrines, awesome. But like, just because his list is going to, because it doesn't have a lot of, it's because it's not MSU, it's really investing in the warrior bricks. Yeah. That if you can contain the warrior bricks or get them down or just outnumber them in OBSEC bodies, his list just doesn't have a good way to control the primary.
Right.
Because he can't just like send bodies everywhere. Yeah. Which is, something to think about of how to kind of counterplay it. That's why I went with the MSU style with my trip Dema list, just because I'm like, I don't have enough points to really invest in like, well, I'll flood the board or I'll hold these things, and just be like, cool, I'm just going to have lots of little units where I know I'll always have something to throw somewhere, right? And get what I need for at least 3 turns, hopefully 4, but at least 3 turns.
Makes sense.
Yeah. He doesn't. I don't think he doesn't have Swarmlord either, right? And if everything's Jormungandr, he has a lot less tricks.
He has a Tyranid Prime.
Okay, so the warriors hit on 3+. That, I mean, depending what they're armed with, that can hurt the infantry. That's a lot of DACA. They can, if they have Death Spitters, that's a lot of Shrink 5 shooting.
Yeah, so he's saying he's taking the Ophidian destroyers because they can deep strike and can read deep strike and hopefully wipe out a warrior unit a turn.
Seems good.
Warriors are pretty hard to wipe out because he can pop the -1 damage strat. They have 3 wounds each.
Right.
Like they're not super easy to wipe. But really, it's if he's in your army, he doesn't have Swarmlord, that as long as he doesn't deploy on the line with anything that matters, it's much more of a shooting list. The Dimacherons are more like linebackers in this. Right. He doesn't have to worry about like the blistering speed, the way if Dimacheron's just jumping all over him, because he can easily deny the first turn charge.
Yep.
Oh, he's saying he does have a Swarmlord.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. So at least one's getting it. But that's the thing. But then he's only able to guarantee leverage 1. Mm-hmm. Some chance he could leverage 2, but not great odds, because that requires
make sure you pre-measure stuff and deployment. You can negate the double charge and just keep it to the 1 charge.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the shooting that's actually going to be somewhat problematic for him. But again, it depends on how you can get in there, gum him up. And again, he just doesn't have a lot. You have way more ability to control the center in OPSEC than he does. So, which is, I think, something to try and leverage. But again, there's a decent amount of shooting in the list. A lot of Strength 7, AP3, Damage 2 stuff.
Right.
With those Exocrines.
Yeah. And Seaford also says it's the actual model, not a proxy, John. For Nightbringer.
Hey,
I like the Nightbringer model.
Our Necron army will have the real one too.
I remember when Nightbringer was scary back in 3rd.
Dude, Nightbringer is great.
Proxy.
Man, I remember rocking my triple monolith with a Nightbringer army in 4th. I made Chuck rage quit. No, I didn't. I just had warriors, 3 monoliths, and Nightbringer.
Nice.
And then like another character, and like I made Chuck rage quit because he was playing his fucking Imperial Guard. No, he was playing Imperial Guard with like the drop with the when they had when they started doing the plasma melta drops that they could do. And just fucking annihilating. So he's like, this was one like it's like I'm Melta, and it's like, I'm a monolith. I ignore Melta.
That's right. Oh my god.
And then within a month, he had that exact army built in the case. You're Necron army.
Yep.
And he went on to
fun.
like
He was-
almost win a league with it, and I was pissed.
Yeah, he was real mad about that. I see. This part of me is like, well, I want to keep playing Necrons. I'm like, I kind of want. I was like, I know it's not good, but I want to bring back the triple monolith build.
Well, now they're Lords of War,
Yeah, you can't
so
even do that.
Yeah. Well,
But
they
you
can.
can,
You
it's
just make a super heavy detachment of them.
I mean, you can't really do it in that it's not feasible.
Yeah, no, it's stupid, but
that's never stopped it.
still, no, it's definitely never stopped me. I'm
Yes, I've seen your conversions.
It does suck because that build was
Shut
cool.
up.
Although the new monoliths are gigantic.
You hate on my like. Yeah, they are. That's why they look cool. I mean, see, this is the thing is, I'm excited at some point to like play a ringer game or something where I'm like, 4 bloodthirsters.
That might actually work though.
I know, right? Like, this problem of like, fuck, I'm just trying to make fun lists. I'm like, oh, that might be good.
4 Bloodthirsters and Bellicor.
Who knows? We have Schrodinger's meta.
I know, right?
Right
Until it is
now.
truly perceived, we cannot know.
I know. I was telling Danny earlier. I was looking at that Armies of Renown list, the Terminus Est list, and I'm thinking of building that.
The Death Guard?
It's all Death Guard infantry.
Right. Yeah, I was looking at that too. It looks interesting.
Again, being able to actually properly deep strike just a big squad of Plague Marines seems good to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how grindy this game is, like, that seems good to me.
Yeah, because that's the ultimate grindy unit.
Yeah.
And then also, Seyfried has said he's going to a GT next week, and he hopes that GW FAQs the 10-point Reavers. Which I don't know if
I thought they did. I thought they went up to 18.
It's back to 10 points in the book.
Well,
And we play with the latest book.
yep.
Wait, which Reavers?
The Dark Eldar Reavers.
Dark Eldar Reavers. They're back to 10 points.
Everybody buying Reavers.
Especially because Cult
bye.
of Strife is so
Everybody
good.
out here buying Reavers and Helions. Like the end days.
It's a buyer's market.
That's a seller's market.
Yeah, that's
This is what
for sure. 'cause
I mean. If you could play
there's a run on
if you,
supply.
yeah, if you could play the 40K stock market, man, like a week ago would have been 2 weeks ago would have been an awesome time to have some Hellions and Reavers in your inventory.
You can't get anything now.
That shit for real. That's like that's why we're giving away Underworlds.
Pretty sure Underworld's in stock. But yeah, so I mean, we'll see. I don't know, man. Another one. I think I saw a question in another group asking about like codexes and if you can still play like.
Oh my god, that.
Okay, so
drink.
here's a question: if the new
I'm gonna
codexes
go
come
get a
out,
drink.
okay, does that mean the Psychic Awakening books are now no good anymore?
I say yes. GW will probably say, play what you want.
Well, I assume they're incorporating the changes into the new codexes.
Right.
I'm hoping. I mean, I don't know. I'd have to look at the Dark Eldar Codex and see.
Yeah, I feel like you're assuming a lot.
Huh?
I just asked if the Psychic Awakening is still relevant when a codex comes out.
Yeah, because but the difference is, unless the Psychic Awakening is a supplement, right? Like with additional rules, and I can see the argument of like, well, some of that stuff counts, but if the same name stratagems or stuff like that is in the book, then like it probably replaces it. But this is one of those things where GW can fix all this by just one Facebook post.
Oh
They don't do that. We don't do that here.
Oh my god.
King of Wakanda. We don't do that here.
Yeah, so yeah, Dark Eldar contains. So it looks like the Dark Eldar book does have the Psychic Awakening stuff.
So then that overrides
Whatever's in Psychic Awakening.
Right. Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Zero
I mean, but
chance it doesn't. It's the same name, same stratagem. Yes.
yeah. I mean, this is what annoys me is just GW just doesn't ever seem to like think this far ahead of like just put out a post being like, hey guys, when this book's released, these things are invalidated, right? Like, or use the new one in here.
They'll say, like John said, just play however you want.
Yeah.
They just have to say for match play, this is how it is.
Yes. This is why they made match play, so they can make that statement of like, for match play, this is how it works. If you don't want to play match play, then do whatever the fuck you want. Have fun. You know?
Yes.
But we'll see.
Agreed. Agreed. Everybody in agreement?
Agreed. Awesome. Everyone's agreed. All right. Motion passes. I think that's it for tonight.
No more Tyranid talk?
No, Jesus
TFG Christ. Radio, a Tyranid podcast.
I to be honest, I only, like I mentioned in our chat, I knew of one Tyranid centric podcast.
And now it's gone.
But I don't even think they're around anymore.
It's a shame.
I mean, we have the only guy who writes articles for FLG about Tyranids.
So I guess we could make that claim.
Yeah, or the
like you're 40K. One of the only people on the internet who writes articles about Tyranids.
And there's a few articles. Yeah, there's a few content creators who do like YouTube videos and stuff. Right. But I'm definitely, I think, the only one who does like consistently does like a written word. Although there's nothing new to talk about. I mean, I guess I might do a list review of the trip Dima at some point to put up on FLG. Yeah, I want to see how I do at the tournament because, like, you know,
before you write.
Yeah. Well, no, because I mean, I'll write about it probably either way, but like, I want to be able to like speak of like having, you know, played like closer to 10 games than like 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, the
really put through his paces.
The podcast I'm looking at, their last episode was literally 2 years ago. March 20.
The Hive Fleets deserve better. That's all I'm saying.
2019. So
the Hive Mind deserves better.
They should get rules that the less intelligent rabble can do well with, and then they'll be running about all the time.
Oh God. Well, today's episode was brought to you by Hammerhead Games. Just visit them at hammerheadgames.net or look for the Shark Tank on Facebook. You can find Tony with all his sales and goods and all kinds of stuff. Tony has lots of stuff.
Yes,
he's not shy about showing it.
Nope. Hey, the 300 body problem list relies on Hammerhead Games movement trays. Trust me.
Yeah, yes. Right. Has to.
Yeah.
And then our other sponsors, Gameology Games Pasadena. You can visit them at gameologygames.com. If you happen to be in Pasadena in the Old Town area, you can pay them a visit. They're on Green Street next to Buca de Beppo.
And next to a great Asian market, like cafe, tea house thing. This came from Gameology.
Yeah. So that's where we play our games. That's where the tournament is. If we have it, we'll know. Probably by Friday, by tomorrow. Today's Thursday, and as far as I know, I think they're putting the event up on BCP soon. Mm-hmm. So once
all
that's
these
up,
contrast paints came from Gameology.
Yep.
I get a bunch of all my stuff. All my historical games come from Gameology.
It will be. It will be.
I'll recognize the sheriff.
Goddamn right. Show me where it says police department in the Constitution. You can't.
God, did you know how like confused people who listen to this podcast must be if they ever just sat down and listened to only the political parts of it? They would be like the most confused. Like, what do these people actually believe and think? And that's the point.
Yeah. We are equal opportunity to make fun of whatever.
Yeah.
Do you know what we believe? No, that's the idea.
Oh my God.
Good luck pegging it.
So please, and a lot of times they also provide the prizes if Danny isn't for our Patreon. Don't forget to sign up for our Patreon. Just look up TFG Radio on Patreon.com, and then every month we just give something away.
Yep.
Just because.
Not to mention,
we have
the more Patreons we get, the more we can be peer pressured into having to do things like silly challenges, which we haven't done yet this edition.
Bonus episodes. We've only been able to play for like a week.
That's fair.
So. I didn't do the challenge last time. You can't peer pressure me to do shit.
That's very true. That's one. John's greatest gift. I can't be peer pressured.
I spent too much of my youth being peer pressured. You can't peer pressure me now.
I am easily influenced.
Seems fair.
But thank you everybody for listening. John, any last words?
Don't use contrast paints on Mark III Marines.
There you go.
Where's it live by?
Danny?
As the only Catholic 40K podcast besides Tyranid focused 40K podcast. Happy Easter to those of you who celebrate, and happy, I think it's the beginning of Ramadan too for those who celebrate that. So
and also
enjoy.
Just happy Easter egg day for those of you who aren't religious but still do it anyways.
Yeah, who have kids and have to feed them with sugar.
Happy egg hunting for everybody.
Yeah,
if you can. I don't even know how many people can right now.
Yeah. Happy spring break for right? If you're anywhere near spring break. Yeah.
I mean, I'm fully vaccinated as of the day of the RTT. So there you go. Perfect.
I'm fully vaccinated as of Tuesday. Next Tuesday, I'm fully vaxxed.
There you go. See?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Freedom.
All right. Well, good night, everybody, and have a pleasant tomorrow.
Laters.
Oh, no, first the stop button.